It's good, very good to see you this Sunday morning. And I've got a bit of a special treat for you today. We are going to be thinking today about prayer. And in the Bible, Jesus taught his friends how to pray to God. And sometimes, Laurie, I don't know about you, Susie, it's quite hard to pray, isn't it? And we're not really sure how to do it. So Jesus said, look, this is how you pray. And I'm going to tell you the prayer, but we're going to need some special things to help us understand this prayer. So, kids and kids at home, pause the video in a second, and I want you, wait till I say it, guys, I want you to go and find something in your house. So, it could be a doll, a baby doll if you've got one. It could be a cuddly toy, or just a cushion or a pillow or something that would be good to hug. So, do you think you can go and find that, guys? Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, show everybody what you found.
I found
baby toys. Right, hug those baby dolls. The first line of the prayer, Jesus says, "Our Father who is in heaven." And he calls God Father, which is a word that means dad or daddy, because we can have a close relationship with God, like a parent with a child. So I want you to think about someone who you know loves you very much. It might be a parent, it might be the grown-up that looks after you, it might be a grandparent or a brother or a sister or a friend or a pet. And when we pray to God, we can have a closeness. Hug all those babies, guys. We can have a closeness and a love with God, just like we can give to our cuddly toys. For the next line in the prayer, you need to go and find something that looks special or precious. We've got some of our special treasures. My children have both got collections of treasure, but you might have some jewellery, you might have a plain necklace or some plain money, you might have some real money, or you might just have anything that looks shiny and special like treasure. So off you go, kids. Okay, Susie, Laurie, do you want to show everybody what you've chosen? Do you want to take it close to the camera and show it? The next line that Jesus says in the prayer, so he says, "Our Father who is in heaven, hallowed be your name." And hallowed is a funny word, and it means holy, special, blessed, precious. And that means that God, knowing God, is like having amazing, precious treasure. So have a look at your treasure, guys, and think about how special God is and God's name is. The next thing for you to go and find is something that could represent the world. So you might have a globe in your house. It's like a round ball with all the countries on. You might have an atlas. I know that some of you have big maps of the whole world up on your walls. So either go and get those or go and have a look at those or remember them if you know where you are. So off you go. So you can see Laurie's got our atlas. There's a picture of the whole world, because the next line in the prayer, Jesus says, "May your," that's God's, "may your kingdom come, may your will be done here on earth as it is in heaven." And that means, bless you, make sure you cover your, well done. That means, no one wants coronavirus. That means that the things that God thinks are important, God's power that is in heaven, all the wonderful things that God does, the goodness of God, we want that for the whole world. We want the whole world to be like heaven, a place where God is and a place where God is in charge. So as you look at your globe or your map, you could think about the different countries and you could ask God, that's what this prayer means, ask God to come and look after all those countries and all the people in them. The next thing to go and find is some food. So if you've got play food at home, you could go and find some play food. If not, you might have to ask whoever's at home if you can have a little bread roll or a piece of fruit or something, but you need to go and find some food. So off you go. Susie and Laurie have got some of our play food there.
Mr. Cracker, Mr. Crunchel again, Mr. Pepper and Mr. Corn.
Okay, brilliant.
And Mr. Cake and Mr. Lolly.
Okay, so the next line in the prayer that Jesus tells us to pray is, give us this day our daily bread. Now that doesn't just mean bread, that's asking God to give us every single thing that we need for the day. That's food and shelter and people to love us and look after us. And did you know that you can ask God for that every single day? Because he loves to give us things and he will always provide us what we need to get through every single day. The next things to go and get. I wonder if you've got anything in your house that is shaped like a cross or like a heart. If you don't have anything that's those shapes, that's absolutely fine. Maybe you could quickly draw something or ask a grown-up to draw one of those or both of those things for you. So go find those things. Okay, Susie found a heart.
Laurie found a cross.
Laurie found a cross. And the next line in the prayer says, forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. Sin is a funny old word, as is forgive. Sin means all the things that we think and say and do that are wrong, that are bad for us and for the world and for other people. She's a smarty with a hearty on her eye. Wonderful. Sit down, thank you. Sit down, thank you. Wonderful.
This is a smarty crusty.
Okay, lovely. So, those words, forgive us our sins as we forgive the people that sin against us. That means we're asking God to take away and deal with all the bad things we've ever thought and said and done. And the way that God did that, do you know how God took all our bad away?
He died on a cross.
When Jesus died on the cross. And do you know why he did that?
He loved us.
Because he loves us. So when you hold your hearts and your crosses, think about the love that God had for us that led Jesus to die on the cross. The next thing that I'm going to ask you to go and look for is something that might keep you safe. So you might have a helmet for when you go on your bike or your scooter. You might have safety goggles or gloves, or you might have dressing up builder's clothes, so high-vis gear and a builder's hat. Anything you can find that keeps you safe. Off you go. Susie and Laurie found their helmets. Very nice, guys.
LOL.
It is LOL.
Mine's
Yours is
Paw
Paw Patrol. Okay, very nice. Have a sit down. So, the next line in the prayer says, you listen, Laurie, can you sit up? The next line in the prayer says, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. And that means, God, please keep us safe. Safe from doing wrong things and safe from having wrong things done to us as well. So those are some important things to ask God for. The last thing that I would like you to go and find is a crown or a tiara, or just a fancy hat if you've got one. And again, if you haven't got one, you could quickly make one, cut one out of paper, or you could find a picture or just imagine, because you guys have got brilliant imaginations. Okay, so go and find those guys. My children, Susie's got a crown that she's made. Laurie, do you want to show what you found? Very beautiful. So a part of an old tiara, put it on your head if you can. Very nice. Do I want your crown? Woo, there's your chair. Grab your tiara. So the very last, thank you, the very last lines in the prayer say, Jesus says, we say to God, yours, God, is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. That means... Yeah. Okay, we're nearly done. I hope you're not bored. And that means that God is the king, that he can do anything. He's the strongest and most powerful person in the universe, and that we should glorify him. We should acknowledge how brilliant God is. We should say, God, you are fantastic. And then the word at the end of the song is amen. Do either of you know what amen means?
It means send to God.
It means send to God, so it's like sending a prayer to God. Do you know what it means, Laurie?
Loving.
Why do you say amen at the end of a prayer?
So God feels happy.
So if I said a prayer, would you say amen?
Yeah.
Only if you...
Go agree.
Agree. So saying amen at the end of the prayer kind of means I agree with that prayer. Everything I've just said, I think that's true, and that's what I want to happen. So that's the Lord's Prayer. Awesome. Thank you guys very much for your help. Mwah, you're fantastic. So that was the Lord's Prayer, and our song today has the same words to that as well. The song we're going to sing is the Lord's Prayer. So you've got all those wonderful reminders, those wonderful toys and objects to help you think about the prayer. So while we sing this now, you can get up and have a nice dance around if you like. It's quite a slow, floaty song. It's quite fun. Or you could play with some of the different things that are mentioned in the song and in the Lord's Prayer, and think about those as the words are sung to you. So enjoy.
Blessed be your holy
So that's the end of our programme for today. I hope you've enjoyed that. There's no need for me to pray for us today because that's what we've been doing all morning. I really hope that you found that helpful and that you're going to enjoy praying the Lord's Prayer together with your family over the next week. See you soon, guys. Take care. Bye.